So we're at BCE in Austin, Texas. I'm here with George from Accenture. George, good to see you again.
How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. So you've recently been appointed as the Global Network Practice Lead at Accenture. So how did that job come about? What brought you to Accenture?
Oh, sure. So, I mean, as you know, Ray, I've been in the telecom industry for more than 25 years.
Yep.
20 years I've spent as an operator, and usually in the operator world, you're really servicing the operator and its clients. I've also done almost every function in the engineering, operations, IT, product development. After that, I've moved into an equipment provider, Alcatel-Lucent. I also ran all of the services, the consulting, and in all of this experience, what also gets me out of bed is how do you drive that transformation? How do you ride the technology? How do you provide the value to the clients and the customers?
Okay.
And in each of these, I felt I was a little bit short from really working in a place that can really have the capability and the platform to do this. And Accenture is a phenomenal place where you have we're 400,000 people. We have many assets. Yeah, we have many assets and capabilities. Very smart people in order to help the clients and really drive that transformation.
Right. Okay. So in the middle, providing the glue for the industry in a way.
Absolutely. So we pride ourselves on solving complex problems for clients. This is what we know how to do. Of course, we can advise, we can consult, we can run operations, but really the essence of it is complex problems. How do you come in and you solve this?
Right. Okay. So you mentioned there you've been on sort of both sides of the fence, if you like, in the industry. You've worked at the telcos in high-level jobs, but also on the supply side. How are those roles similar, and how are they different, and how you bring in that experience now to the industry with that both sides of the fence?
Sure. So from both sides, what's important is really always solving for the customer experience and creating value for the customers, right? As in the role I have now, what's also important, the fact that I have what helps me is the fact that I have the experience from the industry. So when I am talking to the C-level, I am really relating exactly to their problems. I know exactly what were the issues, and you learn a lot from the failures more than the successes.
Sure.
So many things that did not work, and now with access to Accenture and the capabilities, how do you bring these solutions and connect them at the client side and say, look, here's all of these tools and capabilities. I understand the problem statement. This is what we used to run into, and many of these problems have not changed. And then you bring all of this and you help them. So many of the things still, I don't sleep over them because these are the issues and you want to fix them.
Yep.
But here, you're tapping into a wealth of knowledge and capabilities with Accenture that you can bring to the client. So this is really how I feel like we're bringing the two together, bridging them together.
Okay. And is the biggest challenge in like creating new services, or is it running the networks, or is it a big change in culture? What is at the top of the list of things to fix?
So there's two things happening. One is a disruption in the technology. And so we've seen this before. We've seen it in IT, we've seen it in networks, and now we're talking about the virtualization of the network, and we've gone through fixed access, switch, ATM frame. We've seen that. But what's adding to it is the pace of change, because you have new entrants coming in and their monetization, the business model is totally different. So now you're doing two changes at the same time. One is changing the technology, the process, the customer experience, and two, changing the business model. And that's something that's and at a pace that's rapidly moving, especially with artificial intelligence and analytics and those capabilities. And that's what really is I see as the magnified problem.
Okay. So you mentioned a couple of the things that are driving change in the industry: AI, robotics. There's a lot of talk as well about how to treat data and analyze and make sense of that data. But there's also maybe a lot of people saying, "Oh, AI, robotics, etc. That's and virtual reality. That's not a hype for the industry." How can you figure out what's hype and what's real and important today for the strategies for the network operators?
Okay. Well, maybe I'm fortunate that 25 years ago I specialized in artificial intelligence and neural networks as my master's thesis.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. What we did not have 25 years ago is the compute power and the storage power to train a neural network. So it used to take me a week to train a neural network. And what's important also about neural networks is the step before, which is feeding the data, which has to do with pre-processing the data, clustering that, understanding. We use 5 senses, and you're teaching the machine to use these senses in order to identify, learn, and then enhance it. In the last 25 years, what has happened is the storage and the compute, really skyrocketed. And now leveraging analytics, pre-processing that, putting the artificial intelligence capability with neural networks, machine learning, it really can now move operationally from reacting, because you're really looking at the analytics and the data that you get from the network, and customer service and the billing information, and preempt problems before they happen, or expand capacity before the client asks for it, or give that capability to the client service or the customer care when a client calls in and says, look, what I'm seeing is based on the analytics, this is what it is, either through client services or online. So this is where you can leverage, analytics and artificial intelligence. Is it a hype? No, the technology and the methodology existed, but now it's about implementing it and using it.
Right, so now the technology platform underneath it can bring those ideas to life.
Exactly, absolutely.
Excellent. So here at BC, George, you gave a keynote speech capturing the promise of the Pervasive Network. Can you just tell us what that's about and how it's relevant to the industry and to your clients?
Sure. So, connectivity is important, broadband is important, and we rely on it day in, day out now, right? It's a must for us. But if you can really extrapolate what connectivity is with IoT, analytics and artificial intelligence, smart connectivity, and what's happening in the technology over the next 5 years with driverless cars, with e-health, e-banking, the connectivity will be almost everywhere. Of course, you need to add to it security and what have you, but Pervasive Network can really enable your capability. I'm going to give you another industry example. For instance, electricity, very similar example, where somebody like Elon Musk has taken that concept and not only created Tesla, but now is getting into the roofing, flying with SpaceX. So similarly with networks, it's going to be so underlying that capability, whether it's for the consumer, enterprise, or wholesale, it becomes a must, and it's going to be integrated in many of your capabilities. And of course, with billions and billions of devices that's going to require that network, it's going to be so pervasive that you have to capture the capability of it.
Right. And I guess the trick then is to not only know what's going to be there and how it works, but what impact that can have on people's lives, on company operations, but also the business opportunities for the service providers, because they need new business opportunities, don't they? So
exactly. So
you're bringing all this experience and knowledge, and then some of that AI experience that a lot of people don't have, and bringing that into not only into the industry but to Accenture as well, and influencing the way Accenture is going to address the market?
It's two-way. One, I am bringing my know-how, my knowledge, and as you stated, but also Accenture has a wealth of capability, knowledge, and we've been acquiring many domains like security, like artificial intelligence, like robotics, that we're integrating to do, like our IT platform capability, the new IT, DevOps, and you bring this and you couple it between the analytics and this capability. Of course, then we create a portfolio that really helps our clients in order to maintain the old and leverage the new. And we call this a multi-speed IT, multi-speed approach. And by the way, I missed to tell you that I also run the career transformation and innovation set of portfolio capabilities for Accenture as well. So we bring all of these together, and we really run it all the way from products and services on how to increase that capability and revenue for the clients, all the way to streamlining the customer experience end-to-end, operating models and what have you, and then doing the technology. Increase revenue, reduce cost, improve customer experience.
Okay. Well, there's so much going on in the industry for the service providers. They're running their business day by day, but they have to be thinking ahead. And I'm sure, with your background, that you'll help the Accenture and those clients to find the right path, I'm sure. So, George,
Absolutely.
great
Thank
to see
you very
you
much.
and to speak to you again.
Same here.